Hello, Scorpio. Amyenergy here with your weekly tarot message. If you have not, please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate that. Please hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever I make a new video. Now we are going to be pulling out the Earth, Air, Fire, and Water energy, Scorpio, from the Dreams of Gaia deck. So coming out in our Earth energy, we have the Hero. So definitely love this energy, Scorpio, of the Hero. And this is really just living, up to your own code of morals here. Now we have the 5 air coming out here in your air energy. So with the 5, this is, this does indicate a bit of conflict. But it basically is asking you to kind of take a look at what faces you've been wearing. It's kind of a card of, really asking yourself, who am I really? What are really my ethics? So already it's feeling deep. And a heads up, Scorpio, I did ask Spirit to get deep for us. We are under the Pisces full moon as we speak here. So we do have some deep messages coming forward for you, Scorpio. So Scorpio, here we are clarifying the Hero with the King of Pentacles. This is a card where you really do have everything that you need. You are stable here, and you're able to take action. This is you being able to help out the people around you, potentially. Now we do have the 10 of Wands also coming out of that. So this could be a pretty big burden of you to have to do this. Helping can sometimes be a burden, even if you're capable of doing it. It's just, I really feel like it's heavy, and it's just it's not really aligned with what you really want to do, with what you really feel like your life purpose is here. With the Hero coming out, I feel like there is a lot of pressure for you to do the right thing, but you do have to remember, Scorpio, that the right thing is what you want. You're here to do what you want. Now, in our air energy here, again, the 5 of air coming out, and here's the Hero if you want to see it. Oh. And this is what came out underneath there. So there's our Earth energy. So now we have here this 5, and as I said, this is you really contemplating, like, what is the mask that I've been putting on for others, and what mask are they wearing for me? And you're gonna have to forgive both. You're gonna have to forgive yourself for wearing a mask, as well as somebody else for maybe possibly why they had felt like they wore a mask with you. I do see a new opportunity coming in here. There is definitely, certainly potential here. This is raw energy. This is raw passion. But we do have the Empress coming out in reverse. So this could be, just not really coming from a place of love. I feel like we really haven't been coming from a place of love here. This may be, may be us wanting some sort of passionate energy here, or feeling some sort of potential with somebody, but there's not a situation where love can grow, because we're wearing masks, and that's like the enemy of love. Love is acceptance and being your true raw self. So I do feel like this Ace of Wands is almost coming with a message for you, Scorpio, to really own and embrace that raw nature of who you are. Because here we do have intuition coming in reverse in our passions. So I feel like, I feel like there's been a situation here with the Ten of Swords coming out. There's certainly been a situation, but the sun is setting on the pain here, all right? But this is really betrayal. This is being stabbed in the back. And I feel like this is informing your decision making more so than your own intuition, because you're kind of not trusting your own intuition here. The Page of Swords is coming out, and this is someone who's sort of defending their stance, but this is also a young or somewhat immature person. So we may be sort of, looking like, there's a chance, Scorpio, I hate to say this, but like I feel like this is just what I'm picking up. I feel like you're defending yourself to someone, and they're seeing right through you to all your pain, and they're like, okay, whatever, you're just like, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, okay, like, wow. So we do have the Counselor coming out here. This is water energy. It's coming up in your emotions, your water energy here, and it is the Counselor. So I feel like this energy is coming out over top of death, as well as the Five of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like, Scorpio, this is super powerful here, because this is your card coming out. It also indicates a really powerful death and rebirth. I do feel like we are here, sort of releasing this struggle, releasing, with the Five of Cups, this is a loss that must be felt. This is something that cannot be retrieved. Whatever was in these cups is lost forever, and we must mourn that loss. But in the reverse, it is, finally realizing that there is these two perfectly good cups behind you. And so I do feel like after a point of suffering, you're really able to see that. And that's why you are coming up the Counselor, because you really are able to see, that you still do have these other two cups that you've been sleeping on. So definitely really powerful energy here, Scorpio. Now I am going to go ahead and end the reading by reading to us from the Sacred Rebel Guidebook. So I did pull a card for you. It is card 14, Going Beyond Normal. So this is another 5. So Scorpio, this is most certainly, if this reading is resonating for you, this is a week of powerful change. So definitely, if it's not resonating for you, check out one of your other placements. I do all 12 zodiac signs, so certainly hope that this will resonate for you, Scorpio, and ask that you stick around. I'm going to read this. It's a little bit long, but they are just so profound. So here we go. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you can enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust, so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a time and a place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant and not worship them or allow them to quash our less rational but equally valuable decision-making tools. Intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time to draw upon reliable methods and prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of the gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work where in a loose or even detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well-thought-out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially acceptable. This is good. This is fringe-dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal. But that secret, eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. The healing process. Say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will. So be it. Visualize or imagine the feeling of being in a most gorgeous garden. It might be well manicured, a little bit wild, or wildly overgrown jungle. Just notice it. Notice how all the plants work together and how it is supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that while some things thrive, others fall away, only to shift again with the seasons. There is such organizational genius. Say, may the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener, who works with unconditional love, nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. Finish your healing process by sitting quietly, dancing wildly, or doing a spot of gardening, whatever feels good. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. Please leave me a comment below, like this video. Let me know if it resonates for you. Please check me out on Instagram. All of this information will be in the description box below if you'd like to book a personal. Also, as I said, Instagram, yes, there will be a photo of this spread there, as well as I will be going live this week to answer all of your lingering questions. Scorpio, I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you. Take care.